All right. Today concept is exception handling. Today concept name is exception handling. First of all, we should know what is exception. First of all, we should know what is exception. Exception means while writing the Java code, while writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which you have written, the code which we have written can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. So such type of situation is known as exception. While writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which we have written can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. This is the first question. What is exception? Okay. In exception handling, I will teach you nearly 10 questions and answers. So this is the very, very important concept in entire Java. That is exception handling. What do you mean by exception? While writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which we have written can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. In Java, there are two exceptions. One is card exception, other one is uncard exception. One is card exception, other one is uncard exception. Card exception means while writing the Java code, if at all any missing like comma, full stop, bracket, semicolon, whatever it is, if it is any missing, automatically it will show you underline or into mark or error message. That is called card exception. While writing the Java code, if at all any missing like semicolon, brackets or comma, full stop, so automatically it will show you one underline or error or into mark, that is called card exception. If it is showing underline something is missing or something is missing, we can at any cost we can rectify the problem. So it is showing underline, so we missed something, so we will rectify the problem. That is called card exception. It's very easy. Okay, next on card exception. While writing the Java code, if at all any missing like full stop, comma, semicolon, bracket, whatever it is, if it is any missing, it will not show you anything. Automatically it will sit to during execution it will not execute. Okay, if at all any missing, it will not show you anything, it will not say anything. Simply it will sit to during execution it will not execute. That is called uncaught exception. So if you want to find out the uncaught exceptions, we will use try catch finally. Try catch finally. We will use try catch finally. If you want to find out the uncaught exceptions, what is the uncaught exception? While writing the Java code, if at all any missing, Java will not show you anything. Simply it will sit to during execution it will not execute. That is called uncaught exception. If you want to find out the uncaught exceptions, we will use try catch finally. Try catch finally. Okay. Now where exactly we will use try? Where exactly we will use try? If you have doubt on only particular block of statements, if you have doubt on only particular block of statements, just better to keep in try block. Just better to keep in try block. If you have doubt on any particular block of statements, just better to keep in try block. What is that error we can get in catch block? What is that error we can get in catch block? And finally, at any cost, it will execute. If it is try executing or not, catch executing or not, finally at any cost, it will execute. That is try, catch, and finally. Only we will use for only uncaught exceptions. So if you want to find out the uncaught exceptions, so always we will use try, catch, and finally. So, sir, you said if you have doubt on only particular block of statements, just to better to keep in try block, you said. Sir, I have 100 blocks. I have doubt on 50 blocks. So, what can I do? So, at the same. If you have doubt on 50 block of statements, that 50 times we need to write try and catch. So, program will be lengthy. So, instead of try and catch, always we will use throws. Always we will use throws. Throws is used for, it is a free-defined class in Java. Automatically it can handle all the exceptions at a time. It can handle all the exceptions at a time. All the exceptions at a time. It can handle all the exceptions at a time. It can handle the thousands of exceptions at a time. Thousands of exceptions at a time. So in this concept we have, what do you mean by exception? Questions, interview questions. What do you mean by exception? What do you mean by exception? Exception means while writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which we have written can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. How many exceptions available in Java? One is card exception. One is card exception. What is card exception? While writing the Java code, if at all any missing, Java will show you underline or into mark or error message that is called card exception. Right. What do you mean by uncaught exception? While writing the Java code, if at all any missing, Java will not show you anything. Simply it will sit to during execution, it will not execute. That is called uncaught exception. Right. So, how to find out the uncaught exception? How to find out uncaught exception? So, okay. If you want to find out the uncaught exceptions, we will use try, catch, and finally. What is try? What is try? What is catch? What is finally? How to, so what are the drawbacks in try and catch? What are the drawbacks in try and catch? What is throw? What is the use of throw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 9 to 10. E 10 question answer I am saying once again. Exception. While writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which we have written can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. What is card exception? While writing the Java code, if at all any missing, automatically Java will show you underline or error message or into mark, that is called card exception. If it is card exception, if it is showing any underline or error, we can rectify the problem easily. And what is the uncaught exception? While writing the Java code, if at all any missing, Java will not show you anything. Java will not say anything. Simply it will sit to during execution, it will not execute. That is called uncaught exception. How to find out uncaught exceptions? So we can use try, catch, and finally. What is try? Try is nothing but if you have doubt on any particular block of statements, just to better to keep in try block. What is catch? What is that error we can get in catch block? What is finally? Okay, if it is catch executing or not, finally, catch executing or not, try executing or not, finally at any cost it will execute. What are the drawbacks in try and catch? For example, if we have only doubt on only particular block of statements, we can use try and catch. So, but if you have doubt on multiple blocks, like 10 blocks or 15 blocks, 100 blocks, that many times we need to write try and catch. So program will be lengthy. Instead of try and catch, always we will use throws. What is throws? Throws is used for automatically it can throws the all the exceptions at a time. If it is 1,000 exceptions also, it can handle the all the exceptions at a time. These are the exception handling interview questions. Very, very important concept in Java, that is exception handling. Right. Today we can write the program. Java logic. Now, today you can get the logic. What is Java? What is the logic of Java? I'm going to SRC, take the new class. Class name is exception. Keep the mark public start required menu, click on finish. SY for control space. Good evening, sir. I am declaring one array into A equal to new into size of array 4. A of 0 equal to 100. A of 4 equal to 1000. So caught exception means while writing the Java code, if at all any missing, go automatically it will show you an underline. So it is showing underline. Something is missing. Comma, no. Dot, no. Bracket, no. So what is missing? Oh, semicolon missing. Right. We can rectify the problem. This is called card exception. Okay. In this, I already wrote one sentence. Only I declared one array. In this, we have one uncard exception. What is that? Tell me, sir. I wrote only 2 lines. In that, we have one uncard exception. What is that uncard exception? It is not showing an error, but already in this sentence, we have one uncard exception. What is that? We are
I'm not getting.
card exception means if it is semicolon missing, it is showing error. That is called card exception, sir. In this sentence, we have one uncard exception. What is that?
Yeah, that is semicolon is missing.
Oh, okay, that is card exception. And in this sentence only, same in the array declaration, we have one uncard exception. What is that? No? Okay, I will tell you. Go to mute. Yeah, in this uncaught exception is I declared array size is 4. Array size is 4. Array index start with 0. Why I am saying each and every time array index start with 0, array index start with 0, it started with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. Enough. That size is 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. That is closed. But whenever I am writing A of 4, that need to show error, but it is not showing an error. That it is not showing an error. So that is called uncaught exception. So that is called uncaught exception. Java, it is not showing any error. So this is called uncaught exception. If you want to find out the uncaught exceptions, we will use just I have doubt on this particular block of statements. Just better to keep in Best, just better to keep in try block. Try. Next, what is that error we can get in catch block? Exception, no. B dot, get message. What is that error we can get in catch block? If I click on run, what is that error we can get in catch block? What is that error we can get in catch block? Save, click on run. It is showing 4. What is 4? I don't know index concept. So I'm not understanding this concept. So if you want to result very clearly, we will use E dot print stock trace. E dot print stock trace. What is that error we can get console very clearly? What is that error? Okay, Java long array index out of band exception 4. Okay, okay. I gave size is 4 and I declared YAV 0, 100 to YAV 4000. So array index to start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. That size is finished. Whenever I'm writing 4, that need to show error, but it is not showing an error. Do okay, okay, okay. This is called uncaught exception. Okay. So if you want to find out the uncaught exception, just better to keep in try block. What is that error we can get in catch block? Right. S5 S4 control space. Bye, sir. Right. Finally, at any cost, it will execute. If it is try executing or not, catch executing or not, it will at any cost it will execute. Right. Now, if I click on run, observe carefully. Good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Bye, sir. Happy weekend, sir. If I click on run, save, click on run. Good evening, sir. For bye, sir. Happy weekend, sir. It is coming. Where is how are you, sir? How are you, sir? Not coming. Why how are you, sir? Not coming? Hmm. Come out
We
to
got
book.
an exception.
Hmm?
We got an exception. We got an exception.
What, sir?
We got exception. So that's why exception got it.
Okay. Here is why it is not coming. How are you, sir? Whenever the exception occurs, whenever the exception occurs, directly it will come to catch flag. It will not execute remaining one. It will not execute remaining one. Why? Because here we have exception. So if it is having exception, whenever the exception occurs, directly it will come to catch block. So it will not execute remaining blocks. That is the reason. That is first situation. Right. Second situation, there is no exception. For example, there is no exception. I am writing keeping 5. So there is no exception. So if I click on save, click on run, it is saying, it is showing good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Happy weekend, sir. Why it is not showing bye, sir?
Because there is no exception.
There is no exception. It will not come to catch flag. It will not come to catch flag. It will not come to catch flag. There is no exception. So it will not come to catch flag. That is the concept to exception handling. Okay, that is the concept to exception handling. Logic also very important. Just I wrote only 3 to 4 lines, but that logic is very important. That logic is very important.
Can you tell me about custom exceptions?
Sir,
Custom exceptions.
custom exception means
We can define our own exceptions, right? These are the predefined exceptions, right?
predefined exceptions we can get to. This is the only these are the only this is only card exceptions, uncard exceptions, and just to next class we can get the all the exceptions. Next class, not today class. We have seven to eight exceptions in Java. What are the exceptions? How we can get the exceptions? I will explain you clearly. Not now. So just wait. This is the card exception, uncard exceptions. That means throws. Here we are using only throws. Card exception, uncard exceptions. Here we are getting. So Java will show you. Okay, custom exceptions. I will show you. Just that's the purpose we are learning this concept. In wherever you go, if it is Java or Selenium, always we will use throws. Throws means exceptions. How we can get exception, how to handle that exceptions, I will explain you just next class. Reflection API class. In that class, we can get the all the exceptions. Nearly 7 to 8 exceptions we can get. So, what are the exceptions? How we can get? How we solve the exceptions? I will explain you. Right. So here try catch finally in the exception handling. If you have any doubts, sir.
No.
Okay, right. Very important concept, sir. So logic, based on the logic, it will run. If it is no exception, it will not come to catch flag. If it is any exception occurs, directly it will come to catch flag. So here in the place of exception, we can use throwable also. In the place of exception, we can use throwable also. Both we can use throwable. Throwable or exception, both we can use anyone. Okay, you need to remember throwable or exception, throwable or exception, anyone we can use. All right, next concept.
What is the purpose of print stack trace?
What is that error we can get in console very clearly? Without this statement we can't get. What is that error we can't get? For example, I'm declaring size is 4. There is no print stock trace. So save, click on run. It is showing only 4. What is 4? Why it is showing 4? I don't know index concept. I'm totally new to this area. Why it is showing only 4? What is 4? Why it is showing 4? I can't get. So if you use print stock trace, save, click on run. What is that error? Okay, Java long array index out of bound exception 4. Okay. I gave size is 4. I wrote yeah 4. So that means there is no that size is 4. So array index start with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. Enough. But oh that a of 4 equal 1000. So that out of bound exception we can understand. So what is that error? If we want to get in console very clearly, we can use e dot print stock trace. Very important method. What is that error? We can get in console very clearly.
Okay, good.
Right. Next concept too. Very important concept too. Next concept too. Very important concept, that is dynamic handling file system concept. Dynamic handling file system concept. Today concept to dynamic handling file system concept. A dynamic handling file system concept. What is dynamic handling file system concept? First of all, before going to dynamic handling file system concept, first of all, we should know flat file. Flat file means It doesn't have any predefined format. Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format. That's why we can say flat file. For example, notepad text document. Whatever you want, you can write it. There, it will not show you any restrictions. It will not say you anything. So whatever you want, you can write it. That's why that we can say that is flat file. Continuously it will take, it will not come to next line. So that's the reason we can say that is flat file. Whenever writing any data into the that particular flat file or text document or notepad, continuously it will take, it will not come to next block. That is called cart except, sorry, that is called flat file. That is called flat file. Best example, notepad and text document. Notepad or text document. Okay. Today concept is dynamic handling file system concept. What is dynamic handling file system concept? If you want, if you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to create a new file in file system, comma, and if you want, if you want to write the data into the file in, if you want to write the data in file system, if you want to read the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. You will use file system concept. Okay. Dynamic handling file system. If you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to read the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. Okay. Without going to D drive or E drive or F drive, directly through code, we can create a new file in file system. We can write the data into the file in file system. We can get the data from file in file system. That is the concept of dynamic handling file system concept. So if you want to create file, if you want to write the data into the file, if you want to get the data from file, we will use five predefined classes. We can use five predefined classes. What is five? One is file, file writer, no space, sorry, file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. Okay. If you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file system, if you want to get the data from file system, we will use file system concept. For that, we will use five predefined classes. One is file, second one is file writer, third one is buffer writer, fourth one is file reader, fifth one is buffer reader. Fifth one is buffer reader. So file is used for we can create a new file in file system. File is used for we can create a new file in file system. File is used for we can create a new file in file system. Okay, file writer. Okay, using this predefined class, we can write the data into the file system. We can write the data into the file system. What is buffer writer, sir? Only if you use file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Then only we can able to write the data into the file system. Okay. If you use only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Then only we can able to write the data into the file system. Okay. Next, file reader. File reader used for we can get the or we can read the data from file system. So if you use only file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer reader. Then only we can able to get the data from file system. So Here buffer reader or buffer writer, both are used for only support methods. Only if you write file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. We will take the reference of buffer writer. With the help of buffer writer only, we can write the data into the file system. Even file reader, whenever you are using file reader, we can write that we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer reader. Sorry, we can't read the only if I use file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer reader. Then only we can get the or read the data from file system. I will show you now. File, file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader.
I think we can create the file using file writer.
We can create file, we can write the data into the file, we can get the data from file.
That is without a buffer reader or buffer writer. Only one file
Compulsory,
reader,
we need to
file
take the
writer.
buffer writer reference. If you want to write the data into the file, compulsory, we need to take the buffer writer. If you want to get the data from file system, compulsory, we need to take the buffer writer. Class, file. Go to meet, sir. Right. I'm taking class name is file. I'm taking spell mistake. Why? File is a already predefined class. Whenever you are writing file, so Java will be confused. So that's the reason I'm taking file something. Very, very important class. File. F equal new file. D colon D colon Ravi dot text. I created one file. F dot create new file. It is created. File is created. All right. File later FW equal to new file later path of the file D colon Ravi dot text. Only if I write file later, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Buffered writer BW equal to new buffer writer FW. Only logic. Only for this logic we are learning this concept. Okay. Only if you write file later, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. So buffer writer BW equal new buffer writer FW. That is the file writer reference I'm giving. So this logic we will use in Selenium. This logic, only this logic. So once again, I will explain you in Selenium also. So when I using only file letter, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. So we need to connect with buffer writer and file writer. So how we connect to buffer writer BW equal no buffer writer FW. So if you want to write anything, so we can use buffer writer reference. Buffer writer reference dot write. Good evening, sir. So I want in next line, BW dot next line, new line, BW dot, all right, Bye, sir. Right. So if you want all the data here, we will use flush bw dot flush. Bw dot flush is used for it can hold the data. Without writing flush, we can't hold the data. Compulsory flush, we can hold the data. Without flush, we can't hold the data. So flush is used for it can hold the data in file. It can hold the data in file. It can hold the data in file. Without writing file, without writing flush, we can't hold the data. We can't hold the data. So import the statements file later, come down, change to file later, file later, buffer writer. It is showing exceptions. One, two, three, four, five, six. It is showing. So at a time we can handle all the exceptions. Keep the cursor on underline, add throws, IO exception. So at a time it can handle all the exceptions. At a time it can handle all the exceptions. So that is use of throws. Throws used for we can handle all the exceptions at a time. All the exceptions at a time. All the exceptions at a time. Save, click on run. So go on, check in D colon. Go on, check in D colon. Ravi, file created. Good evening, sir. Bye, sir. Okay. Without writing flush, it cannot hold the data. Without writing flush, it cannot hold the data. I'm flush commenting. So it cannot hold the data. Save, click on run. Go on, check in D colon Ravi. It cannot hold the data. There is Ravi folder that there is no data into the file. So flush is used for it can hold the data. It can hold the data. It can hold the data. Right. We created one file. We wrote data into the file. I don't want to go to D drive. So I want to get the data from here. So how we can get the data? So file reader fr equal to no file reader. Give the path d colon Ravi. I want to get the data from this file. File reader fr equal new file reader. Okay, only if I use file reader, we can't get the data from file system. Compulsory, we need to use buffer reader. Buffered reader br equal to new buffer reader fr. Now here no need, but still I am saying. So what is the use of boolean? Boolean is used for it will give the true or false. So here is no need. Here is no need. In future we can't apply anywhere. So here we have chance. We can apply boolean. Boolean is used for it can check data is available or not. In that file data is available or not. It will check. Boolean. hmm, Boolean. Why it is showing boolean? Boolean var equal to br dot ready so control space var. So data is available or not check. Here boolean is not important, not use, but just only in future there is no chance to apply boolean. If it is data available or not check, it will check. If it is data available, it will give true only. If it is not available, it will give false. File reader file reader, change to file reader, buffer reader. Hmm. Data available or not check. Save, click on done. Data, if it is data available, true. Data is there. So I want to get the data. Next, how to write the data? While loop I am writing. While. Why I am writing while loop? I don't know. How many lines of data available? I don't know. So how many lines of data is there in the file? I don't know. So that's the reason I am writing while. While br dot ready, br dot ready. Store in one string. I want to get the I want to store the data in string. String s equal to br dot read line sy control space s. We can get the data from file. So here boolean, these two lines is not important to, these two lines is not important to. So data is available or not, we can check. What is the use of boolean? So compulsory we need to cover all the data types. So boolean is the one of the data type. What is the use of data type? It will give true or false. So if it is data available, it will give true, otherwise it will give false. Okay, now here I want to get the data from file system. So I already file reader fr equal new file reader, I gave path, and buffer reader br equal new buffer reader fr, I gave that file reader reference. And here I'm using while loop. Why I'm using while loop? I don't know how many lines of data available in the file, I don't know. So that's the reason I'm giving while while br dot ready. Ready method is used for data is available or not, it will check. If it is data available, it will enter into loop. So I'm storing that data in one string s equal to br dot read line. I want to read the data and I want to print the data. So I'm using read line method and I'm using a printed message. System dot out dot println yes. Okay, then we can get the data from file. Save, click on that. True, data is available. And good evening, sir. Bye, sir. Good evening, sir. Bye, sir. So that is the concept of dynamic handling file system concept.